Good morning, everybody. My name is Lionel Zaragoza. I'm the Senior Branch Executive here at the Mid-Valley Family YMCA in Van Nuys, and I'm excited to welcome you here for this innovative announcement between the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles and the City of Los Angeles for this initiative called FEEDLA. We're joined today by a couple of our speakers, and we'll be getting this press conference underway by hearing from our City Council President, our Community Champion, Councilwoman Nury Martinez.
Thank you very much, Lionel. It's great to see you this morning. Thank you very much for having me. I'm really happy to be here at the YMCA launch FEEDLA program. This pandemic has been really hard for Angelenos, particularly our working poor families. I'm gonna wait for that. All right, why don't we start again? We're right underneath the flight path, so I apologize about that. This pandemic has been so hard on Angelenos, particularly our working families. Jobs have been lost and hours reduced. Students have been unable to return to school. We're almost a year into the pandemic, and honestly, it hasn't got any easier. We still see the demand that Angelenos need and getting assistance to putting food on their table. For some families in 2020, it was the first time that they had to wait in a food line, or it's the first time that they had to apply for SNAP benefits. For those who were already struggling to make ends meet, this pandemic has put them over the edge. And what about our children? How is this impacting them? What can we do to make their lives a little easier? Whether it's a free bag of groceries for their family, providing a grab on the go meal for their kids, or helping them keep up with their school, we've reached a point in this pandemic where everyone needs help. Through this pandemic, our children have suffered tremendously in this environment. The world around them has changed in a blink of an eye, and we need to be mindful of them. We need to address their needs as well. Since COVID-19 hit Los Angeles, I have been working really hard to ensure that the needs of our families is what we keep in mind on the City Council. As of today, my office has distributed over 330,000 pounds of groceries to Angelenos in my district. The YMCAs, particularly in this community, as we're here in the Mid-Valley YMCA, they have served such a need for these family members who live in these communities, but they've been an essential role in making sure that we're meeting the needs of our kids. From their after-school programming, to their summer camps, to their sports leagues. When COVID hit, they took another active role here in the community to serve, to coordinate with churches, with schools, with community partners to identify the families in need and distribute food to them. As the chair of the AD-Hoc Committee on COVID-19, I knew that the YMCA would be able to expand their programs. They just needed a little help. So in November, I allocated over $5 million to be used to create FEEDLA. With this funding, the YMCAs in Los Angeles now are able to build upon their food distribution program to pass out an additional 1 million grab and go meals. Also, this funding with the YMCA is going to be able to help children access some tutoring and very needed educational enhancement to their current virtual learning experience at home. Through this program, we will work with our churches, with our schools, and other partners here in the community to identify those kids that need an extra help, that need a little extra tutoring to help them get back on track. These branches will include learning hubs and provide other in-person and virtual tutoring and academic support to thousands of low-income students in elementary, middle school, and high school throughout our city. So if you are in need of groceries or your kids need an extra little help with tutoring to do their homework, please do not hesitate to register either on-site by going on to one of the 16 YMCAs throughout the city of Los Angeles that are participating in this program, or you can log on via the internet to ymcala.org/FEEDLA, and we can register online. Thank you very much for having me, Lionel. It's great to see you again. Where are you? And thank you for being such a terrific partner, not only here in Van Nuys, but throughout my district. I think this Y has served not only the community of Van Nuys, but every time I have a food distribution program, it's the Y volunteers and the Y personnel that come to our rescue and ensure that no one is left behind. So I am incredibly grateful for your leadership and for your entire staff for continuing to be the pillars of this community and helping us in some of the most neediest times in our area. So thank you very much to the Y, and it's very exciting to partner up with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President Martinez. We will now hear from CEO and President of the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles, Alan Hostrup.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Van Nuys. Welcome to the Van Nuys Family YMCA. We call it the Mid-Valley Y. It's been here since the 40s. It's been a beacon of hope and spirit for this community for a long time. We've always been a partner with the city of Los Angeles, but this is a particularly unique and wonderful partnership, and so needed. I also want to echo Lionel, thank you for not only the job that you're doing and have been doing, but in particular this past year. And Council President, I thought you might have the power to turn the airplanes off as we're... I'd like to begin by saying thank you to the entire City of Los Angeles Council, and a special shout out to Council President and longtime advocate of the Mid-Valley Y, Nury Martinez. She's our champion, and we wouldn't be here today if you were not our champion. The YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles is honored to be your partner for this critical program. Throughout our 140-year history, the Y has been present, serving those in need and supporting parents in the raising of their children in every zip code we serve. When COVID-19 and the ensuing pandemic hit Los Angeles, your Los Angeles Y stepped up once again to assist our neighbors that needed it the most. The Y delivered over 1.5 million meals, provided free childcare to essential workers, provided over 50,000 showers to the unsheltered, and so much more. And now we need to continue. The FEEDLA program empowers the Y to host 16 sites, each providing free meals and healthy produce to Los Angeles residents in need. It also means every Y will provide distance learning support with free Wi-Fi, thus connecting our youth and teens to their school or to their tutor or to whoever has responsibility for helping them to learn. We're helping with the city to reestablishing their learning recovery journey this year. Also, 10 additional YMCAs outside of the city of Los Angeles will continue their current food distribution and distance learning programs, meaning the Los Angeles Y will have close to 30 hubs in all, and each Y will continue their membership programs and activities, swimming lessons, camping activities, when the green light is given. We have recently been permitted to conduct swim lessons, and seeing the smiles on kids' and parents' faces once again is wonderful. In closing, thank you again, Council President Martinez, for your partnership, and I look forward to coming back maybe later in the year and sharing the podium and talking about the great impact that we've had between the City of Los Angeles and the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles. Thank you all so much. Lionel, back to you.
Thank you, Alan. We'll now hear from Abigail Marquez, Assistant General Manager, Community Services and Development Bureau.
Good morning, everyone. Abigail Marquez with the City of Los Angeles Housing and Community Investment Department, and I oversee the Community Services and Development Bureau. Thank you, first and foremost, to our Council President Nury Martinez for inviting me this morning to join you to announce this program. And of course to Alan and Lionel and the YMCA team for being such gracious hosts this morning. The Los Angeles Housing and Community Investment Department serves as the administrator for a number of federal entitlement programs that the city receives through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Department. Through the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, the CARES Act program, the city receives an additional $70 million in community development block grant funding to allocate to communities across the city that are serving low-income households in particular. And I really just want to take a moment again to applaud the efforts of our council president. She has been leading through her role as the chair of the Ad-Hoc Committee on the CARES Act, but also really understands the unique challenges that our families are facing across the city, and has really done a tremendous amount of work to invest and allocate millions. This is one of many, many programs that the City Council has implemented to support and provide relief to families that have been hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Our department works with over 80 community organizations across the city, and our services range from providing support to domestic violence survivors and human trafficking survivors that are actively fleeing. We have a network of family source centers that will be working very closely with the YMCA to implement the FEEDLA program. We have one in this area that's operated by New Economics for Women. And we have a number of other service providers that we contract with. We're very excited about this new partnership with the YMCA. We have full confidence in their ability to deliver and implement these services to households across the city, and we look forward to the outcome of this great work. We know that families are still struggling, and we hear about the stories through our service providers that we work with. We hear about it in the news. We're going to hear from a family in a little bit. We know that 1 in 4 Angelenos have reported that they do not know yet, low-income households do not know where their next meal will come from. We know that a number of LAUSD students still lack the resources that they need to be successful in their learning, virtual learning environment. They don't have access to the technology that they need. They are lacking high-speed internet. So this is another way to continue to provide that added support to households. As a mother of 2 children, one that is in middle school and one in elementary school, the moment that this has been such a hard year for all of us for a number of different reasons. But for me as a parent, the moment that I had almost a panic attack was when my daughters were getting ready to go back to school. And just the idea of adjusting for a longer term to this virtual learning environment and the potential learning loss that we know is happening across, households in our city. So I leave with just saying that we are incredibly grateful for this opportunity to bring another resource to communities that will both address food insecurity, growing food insecurity issues, and will continue to support households that are experiencing learning loss, and working closely with the council president and the city council to continue to allocate these very critical resources in communities across Los Angeles. I will end with just thanking the YMCA staff that we worked with closely to implement the FEEDLA program. Thank you to Victor Dominguez and to Juan de la Cruz for your leadership and providing the unique perspective that the communities are experiencing and bringing in the network of the 16 YMCAs that will be part of the FEEDLA program. Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail. We're now going to hear from Jessica Alvarado, a family member here at our Mid-Valley Family YMCA, whose family participates in both our produce distribution program as well as our distance learning program.
Good morning, my name is Jessica, and I'm happy to be here as a parent, an Angelino, but also participates in the FEEDLA and the Learning Pods, funded by the City of Los Angeles and provided by the YMCA of LA. My daughter Estrella is a participant of the Mid-Valley YMCA Learning Pods, where she has been receiving academic support she needs to excel at school. Now as a mother, knowing that my daughter is in a safe place and that she's doing her schoolwork gives me a peace of mind when I'm at work. I am also a representative of the Mid-Valley YMCA food program, which has been helping me provide food on my table since my work hours have been less than usual. I am so thankful for Council President Nury Martinez for her leadership as she's making sure that the working class of Angelinos, like myself and my daughter, getting enough support during this pandemic. As I am so happy that 16 YMCAs of the City of Los Angeles are here to help our community. You're a true champion for all of us. I am also thankful for the Mid-Valley YMCA for providing me and thousands of the families with food and a place for our kids to learn and stay safe during the pandemic. Without you, many of us will be lost. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. And I can say it's been a pleasure to watch Estrella grow in the program and just come out of her shell. When she first started with our program, she was a little shy, but she's been interacting with children every day and coming out of her shell and continuing to grow. And we want to make sure that we are providing those resources for everybody. So thank you, Council President Nury Martinez. Thank you to the City of Los Angeles for this partnership. The Mid-Valley Family YMCA programs are up and running. We have our produce distribution running today. You can find more information about the YMCA's produce distribution as well as the learning pods at ymcala.org/FEEDLA. And in closing, I just want to say thank you again to Councilwoman Nury Martinez for always advocating for all Angelinos. Thank you.